wish you had one of those, like, super smart assistants. You know, the kind that could whip up anything, a catchy jingle, a research paper, whatever you need.
Well, with AI, that's kind of becoming a reality.
Right. It's like we're living in the future. But there's a catch. You can't just walk up to AI and expect it to read your mind. You got to know how to talk to it.
That's where prompt engineering comes in. And this ebook we're diving into, The Ultimate Guide to Prompt Engineering. Think of it as your cheat sheet to speaking AI.
I love it. Speaking AI like it's a whole new language. But seriously, this guide starts with the coolest analogy. It compares prompt engineering to conducting an orchestra.
Instead of instruments, your words orchestrate the AI.
Mind-blowing, right?
Yeah.
But that brings up a question for me. Is it really as complicated as, like, you know, conducting Beethoven's Fifth?
Maybe you don't need the tuxedo, but the key is understanding how these AI models think.
Because they don't think like us, do they?
Not exactly. It's more like they're these incredible pattern-predicting machines trained on mountains of data.
So less whispering sweet nothings to AI, more like learning its secret language.
Exactly. And the guide dives into some key characteristics of language models, like how they're context-dependent. Every prompt, it's a fresh start for the AI.
So it's like having a brilliant intern, but with zero memory.
You got it. No sticky notes, no remembering last week's project, every request, brand new.
That makes sense. But how do we actually craft those killer prompts? The guide mentions 6 golden rules.
Think of it like this. Imagine ordering your morning coffee.
You know me too well. Go on.
You wouldn't just say coffee, right?
Definitely not. I've got my order down to a science.
Exactly. You'd specify grande oat latte, extra shot.
See? Details matter. So the more specific we are in our prompts, the better the AI gets what we want.
Precisely. And this is where it gets really interesting. The guide talks about breaking down those complex problems to smaller, manageable steps within the prompt itself.
Oh, I like that. Instead of asking for a full marketing plan, break it down, market research, target audience. It's like we're giving the AI a roadmap.
Exactly. Step by step. That way the AI doesn't get lost and the output is smoother, more accurate.
Love that. Okay, what's the next golden rule we should know about?
The guide really emphasizes the power of examples. Humans learn by example, right? AI models, they're no different. We call this few-shot learning.
Showing versus telling. Gotcha. So if I want, say, a poem in the style of Maya Angelou,
you include a few of her poems as examples right in the prompt.
So the AI gets a feel for her style, her tone.
It's like saying, see, this is what I'm talking about. Show, don't just tell.
This is brilliant. What else does the guide recommend?
Well, there's a whole section on using quotes effectively.
To quote or not to quote, that is a question. But seriously, when should we use them?
Quotes are great when you need the AI to zero in on specific text. Imagine asking for a song based on a poem. Put the poem in quotes, right at the prompt.
It's like we're highlighting that essential text, making sure the AI doesn't miss the mark.
Right. And speaking of being smart, the next golden rule is all about using what the guide calls the power of personas.
Ooh, this sounds intriguing. Tell me more.
This is where it gets really cool. You can actually give the AI a role, like a persona, and it shapes the whole style, the tone of the output.
So instead of just getting like generic info, we're getting it through a specific voice. That's amazing.
Right. Say you need a blog post about, I don't know, investing. You tell the AI, you're a financial advisor with 20 years of experience, and suddenly...
It's like getting advice from a seasoned pro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or think about explaining a complicated topic to, say, teenagers. Tell the AI to be like a popular YouTuber.
Okay, that's brilliant. It's like having a whole team of experts on call, each with their own unique voice. What's next on the list?
Well, golden rule number 6, it reminds us that even with AI, details are super important. The guide calls it specificity. Don't be afraid to get granular with those prompts.
Granular. Specificity. Sounds like my kind of party. But seriously, how specific are we talking here? Give me an example.
Okay, so instead of write about climate change, think write a 1,000-word blog post about how climate change impacts coastal communities, focusing on solutions for sea level rise.
Wow, you really went there. Okay, so we're talking super specific, but I see why it's like laser focus for the AI.
And the more specific you are, the more impressed you'll be with what you get back.
Okay, so we've got these 6 golden rules for awesome prompts. But this guide, the ultimate guide to prompt engineering, it doesn't just stop there, does it? What about like advanced strategies?
Oh, it totally goes there. One of the big takeaways is that the perfect prompt, it's not always a one and done thing. It's a process.
So it's like fine-tuning a recipe. You start with something good, then tweak it till it's perfect.
Yes. Each time you adjust the prompt, the AI understands you better. And the results just keep getting better.
Like you're training your own AI apprentice. I love that. Okay, so besides this whole iteration thing, what other advanced tricks does the guide reveal?
One that really stuck with me is what they call the Goldilocks principle of information. You gotta find that sweet spot.
Not too much, not too little, just right.
Exactly. Too much info, and you're basically writing the output yourself, right?
Yeah.
But too little, and the AI's just floundering.
So it's about finding that balance. Give the AI enough to work with, but let it do its thing.
Right. And speaking of letting the AI do its thing, another gem from the guide is don't be shy about asking for more.
More of a good thing, always.
Right. Don't just settle for that first draft. Ask for more details, different perspectives.
It's like having a brilliant friend who's a little shy. You gotta nudge them to share all the good stuff.
Exactly. Those follow-up questions often lead to the coolest, most unexpected outputs.
Okay, this is gold. We've covered the basics of good prompts, even some next-level strategies. I feel like we've been given the keys to the AI kingdom. But how do we actually use all this? What's next? So it's not all just theory. We get to see this in action.
Oh yeah, the guide gets really practical. There are case studies showing how to use all this in the real world, like one whole section on building a marketing campaign using prompts.
Now we're talking. So not just like, write me a catchy slogan. How do prompts level up a whole campaign?
Think about it. Using prompts to create a content calendar, brainstorm influencer collabs. You could even use it to define those KPIs.
Hold on, so instead of write some social media posts, we're talking about using prompts to like strategize the whole thing.
Exactly. And that just shows how versatile prompt engineering can be. It's not just for, the creative stuff. There's a case study about making complex scientific concepts easy to graft.
Okay, now that's something I could have used in school. What's the example?
Explaining quantum computing to, say, a high school student. By breaking it down, using analogies, addressing those common misconceptions, prompts can make even the toughest subjects way more accessible.
That's amazing. It's like personalized education for anyone. What else can these prompts do?
Well, for all the writers out there, the guide also looks at using prompts for generating ideas.
Ooh, now that I could use. Like, what?
They talk about how to blend genres, come up with interesting characters, even introduce those crazy plot twists. Think of it as an AI brainstorming buddy.
These case studies are really cool. It really shows you how powerful this all is. But you know what they say, with great power
comes great responsibility, right?
Yeah.
Don't worry, the guide talks about the challenges too. Like, one thing you'll run into is that AI outputs, they can be a little inconsistent.
That makes sense. Like we were saying before, it's all about probabilities, right? So how do you deal with that?
The guide talks about using a seed or an anchor in your prompt. It's like a specific phrase or an example that keeps the AI grounded. Yeah.
So less choose your own adventure, more stick to the script.
You got it. Another challenge, and this is a big one, is that AI can sometimes give you facts that are just plain wrong.
Ooh, that's not good. We don't want to be spreading misinformation, right? So what do we do?
The guide says to be super clear in your prompts. Ask the AI to stick to verifiable facts and to flag anything that's, maybe a bit iffy.
So fact check your AI, just like you would with a friend who's prone to exaggeration.
Exactly. Especially when accuracy is super important.
Good advice. Okay, so we've covered a lot. The rules of good prompts, some next-level techniques, real-world examples, even the challenges. But this ebook, it doesn't just stop there, does it? What about the future of all this?
Get ready, because the guide ends with a peek into the future. And it's pretty mind-blowing. Think automated prompt optimization AI helping us make even better prompts.
Whoa. AI working on AI.
Exactly. And it gets even wilder. They talk about these multimodal prompts using images, audio, even video, along with text. Imagine giving the AI a sketch and a voice recording.
That's next level. The possibilities are endless.
Right. And the most exciting thing, we're just getting started. This field is going to keep evolving like crazy.
So to wrap things up, if there's one thing you want our listeners to take away from this deep dive, what would it be?
That anyone can learn this. Prompt engineering is a skill, and it's a superpower waiting to be unlocked.
Well said. So there you have it. We've explored the exciting world of prompt engineering, from crafting killer prompts to tackling those challenges and even glimpse the future. Remember, if you can dream it, you can probably prompt it. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey.